When you run into a friend at the grocery store and they're like, hey, how are you doing? Is your first response, I'm so stressed, I'm so busy? Or do you have it on repeat in your head, a constant thought, I'm so stressed, I'm so stressed, I'm so busy, I'm late, I'm so stressed? Those are signs that something is not quite right in your life. And I think we just start to get used to it because that's our culture. We get used to all the sensations, all the thoughts that come along with it. But I'm going to give you 5 signs today that you need to say enough is enough when it comes to stress, and it's time to do something about it. It's much better to address it earlier on than waiting for a health crisis, a heart attack, an emotional meltdown where you're like, what did I just do? I just yelled so bad at that person. We don't want to get to that point. We want to get to it way sooner. So I want you to stop ignoring it, and I want you to see if any of these are true of you, and definitely stay tuned till the end because I think the last one might surprise you. Before we get started, my name is Kate Wood. I am an integrative health and wellness coach, and I love helping women overcome overwhelm, reduce their stress, and live more authentic, full-out lives, feeling so much better in their own bodies and in their own minds and in their emotions. So let's get started. Number 1 is that you just can't relax anymore. I hear this so much from clients. I know I've definitely experienced this myself where you're doing something that should be relaxing, but you are still like so keyed up you can't even enjoy it. You're sitting down to watch a show with your spouse, but your mind is still going 1,000 miles an hour. Your body is still tensed up. I want you to enjoy your downtime. I've had it before too, where I went on vacation. I couldn't unwind for like 3 days straight, and that was kind of a wake-up call to me. Like, there's some things going on here, Kate, that you may need to pay a bit more serious attention to, because we want to be able to switch like from work mode to relax mode or enjoy different parts of our lives without just that constant buzz of stress. Number 2, your mind always racing. Your brain doesn't shut off. And I hear this. Women are like, I just want a quiet brain. I want a brain that can shift from like all these ideas and to-dos and what about this into just like a much calmer state. And it can be done. We can downshift the brain, help it to focus more on one thing at a time and to tune into the present moment. It is really a skill that we all need to be able to pay attention to the person that's right in front of us, look at them in the eye, and actually listen to what they're saying. Have you ever done that maybe with your kids where they've just said a whole long thing to you and you're like, I have no idea what they just said? I have. We need to be able to come into the right now. We need to be able to be where our feet are. You may find that you're trying to do things and your brain won't cooperate. You ever tried to pray and your brain is like squirreling off? Thank you, Lord. And it's like your brain's gone in 18 different directions, anywhere but in the prayer. Before we get to the last 3, I wanted to tell you how you can connect with me. Number 1, subscribe to this channel, and I put out a free weekly newsletter with ideas and encouragement. Moving on to number 3, your health is suffering. Your doctor's like, oh, your blood pressure's up a bit. Maybe it's very difficult to lose weight. You find yourself gaining weight. Now, there can be other reasons for these things. So it's good to be in contact and regularly seeing your healthcare provider. But there's a lot of health issues that have their root back into stress and inflammation. Maybe you're getting stomach aches, headaches, a lot of muscle tension. You feel so tight in your body. Insomnia is another one. Again, that can be hormonal, but it can absolutely be attributed to stress and a racing mind. Do you ever wake up and your brain goes from 0 to 100 and you're like, there's no way I'm going back to sleep now? Again, we can start to clear out the brain. There are ways to do that, but we want to be sleeping our best. We want a healthy blood pressure, a healthy weight when at all possible, and we just want to feel good in our bodies. Number 4, you are using unhealthy coping mechanisms. These are things where we're trying to escape from our life. None of these are bad in and of themselves, but it's when we're using them as a crutch and they don't have a rightful place in our lives. So scrolling, stress eating, shopping when we don't need stuff, binge watching just to escape, right? Not just, oh, I'm going to watch the show with my spouse for 40 minutes. My husband and I like to watch reruns of Monk. That can be great. But just watching hours and hours to escape your life or try to kind of numb out because when you're in and present in your life, it's so uncomfortable. That's a surefire sign. It would really upgrade your life if you could bring the stress down, bring the racing thoughts down so that you, again, can enjoy your downtime and enjoy your work time and enjoy your family time. I want you thriving in all of them. So let's go on to the last one. You don't feel safe in your body anymore, right? You feel uncomfortable. Your muscles are so tight, or you're in that constant stress, almost to the point of anxiety or even panic attacks. Those don't feel good. I know firsthand. The physical symptoms that I mentioned before are just going up, 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 up. That makes you feel very uncomfortable in your body. Sometimes you're like, Kate, I was so uncomfortable that I just started ignoring everything, and you feel kind of numb. That's kind of almost next level or a different way of coping. But we want to be in tune with what's going on with our bodies. That's very valuable feedback. If our muscles are tight, if our breath is shallow, if our stomach hurts, we need that. It's feedback. We're not trying to take a magic pill to get rid of it or to band-aid it to mask the symptoms. We need to really know what's going on. And while, yeah, it's probably in the short run, it's easier to watch the show, it's easier to grab that cookie. I understand. I truly get it. However, long term, all these avoidances and ignoring and numbing, maybe even physically in your body, is going to bring a lot bigger of problems in the future and even more stress. So I want to give you a couple next steps on how you can come out of this. One of the first things, especially with women, is that their schedules are bonkers. They're driving their kids everywhere. They have 8 billion commitments between church and community and home and extended family and just a million different things. And I often need to start with my clients, like, we need to declutter some of this and make really good decisions here, because we can't say yes to everything and run ourselves ragged in an attempt to feel important or to try to make everybody happy. Another one is to start to add margin. I use Google Calendar and I have different colors for like different parts of my life. When I see a rainbow with no white space all down through my day, I know, like, Kate, this isn't good. You can't go from one thing to the next without a little bit of break, to go get a glass of water, to stretch, to check in with your spouse, to joke around with your kids for a second, to go out and take a quick walk. We need that time so much. Our brains need it, our bodies need it. So if your calendar is just jam-packed, we need to do everything we can to add a little bit of margin. And you can, even at the busiest schedules, I've been able to help women create some margin so that they're actually more productive during their work time. It's a win-win. Exercise. I know when we're stressed and it seems like there's no time or energy, the last thing you want to do is to go get your workout. There are so many different ways to move your body. Need to move in order to burn off some stress. It goes along with fight or flight. That's the flight part, right? So if your body feels like it needs to move, you need to move it. And even if your body feels like it wants to sit on the couch and eat popcorn and watch 3 movies, you need to move your body. It clears out your brain. It makes your body feel good. It's a natural stress reliever. You need to move your body. Obviously, you're going to get cleared by your healthcare provider for any type of new exercise, but things like walking, stretching, starting to lift some weights are amazing ways to move your body in a way that feels good. I know when I do yoga or stretching, I feel peaceful. I feel more creative. If I can walk, I feel energized. When I lift weights, I feel so powerful afterwards. So you can use your exercise and your movement to induce the mood that you want. Use it wisely. Use it as an advantage, as a tool to feel the way that you want to feel. The last one, bring a coach on your team. I know so many times when I was younger, I thought this way about pretty much everything. I can do it on my own. I can figure it out on my own. And I know with the world of the interwebs and Google, we can figure everything out on our own. And we can find information on pretty much any topic you could ever think of. However, it can often be so much quicker and easier, and you can learn so many tools when you bring a professional on board, someone who works with this stuff day in, day out and loves it. So what could a coach do for you? Well, I help clients bring their stress down, come out of fight or flight. There are absolutely ways to do it. Number 2, I help clients declutter their mindsets, because once you start to tune into what's going on replay in your brain, you're like, whoo, no wonder I'm feeling unsuccessful or stressed or overwhelmed. We can start to work with the mindset in order to think better, do better, feel better, right? Deal with emotions effectively. So many people, we're just not taught the skills to deal with our emotions. We're taught to numb them or run from them or to stuff them till we explode. None of those are ideal. And if we are stuffing our emotions, it does cause stress. It does cause physical symptoms. that we don't like. It makes us feel, again, uncomfortable in our bodies, unsafe in our bodies. So what I always tell people, learning to be with your emotions, process them and release them is not hard. It's not time consuming. It's not scary. We don't have to dig into a painful past or re-traumatize. There are certain ways of trying to release emotions that are stuck that do re-traumatize. So if you've experienced one of those in the past and you're hesitant, I understand. We don't want to re-traumatize. It causes more stress and anxiety and fear and panic. We're not going there. I don't believe that you need to do that in order to heal. That's probably another video for another day. But a lot of people are so hesitant to do it, or they think they're gonna have to wallow around in their emotions and they're gonna feel them longer. That is absolutely not true. When we deal with our emotions, often I can release an emotion, even one that feels very strong. We can bring it down at least or fully release, sometimes in 2 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Often people think, oh, it'll be days and weeks and months and I'll just feel sad or angry forever. No, it's absolutely the opposite. When we run from our emotions, they grow, they gain energy, they gain mind space. When we learn how to deal with them, we put them in their rightful place in our lives. Emotions are not a bad thing. They're part of our human nature. They're part of the way God designed us. And if we learn how to work with them effectively, they can be a great tool. And so I encourage you to learn these skills, and then you can teach them to your kids. What a tremendous gift. What a tremendous legacy. I know I got on my soapbox here, but it is so important. And this is such a vital piece that is missing from most Americans' lives. Probably a lot of different places, right? And then another thing I do to help clients, because I am an integrative somatic practitioner, is to help release some of those physical symptoms out of the body. Now, some of it is just going to come from reducing stress or starting to exercise. We're giving ourselves like a release valve, right? And that's what we want. We don't want to keep it all inside because it hurts our bodies, it hurts our spirits, it hurts our emotions, it hurts our minds. There are things that you can actually do physically to help release stuck emotions, to help ease physical symptoms that are tied to stress and trauma and stuck emotions. And so there are body-centered techniques that we can use. Again, they're very easy. They are not re-traumatizing, that can help in this process. So as you can see, I come at it from like a very holistic perspective, mind, body, spirit, emotions, and we can get so much more lasting and faster change. That's why I love to help women in that way. That's why I love to equip them with tools so that when stress comes up, because we can't avoid all stress, we're not like sitting in a rock garden near a fountain, just deep breathing and feeling zen. That's not life. When we can come out of that stress sooner, when we can recognize when it starts to creep up and take care of it quickly, coming from different angles, using tools that really work great for you that are just like second nature to use, that is the sweet spot. That is when you know you have a good handle on this. I don't want stress to take you down. I don't want it to take down your health, your relationships, your work, your personal life, wreak havoc on your emotions. I would love to come alongside you and help you in these areas. So I know this is kind of a brief overview. If you want to start to look into any one of the things that I mentioned, or if you have questions of me, you're welcome to reach out to me through my website. I do one-on-one coaching and group coaching. And so I want to help you get this under control. Let's get to it on the front end so it doesn't take a crisis to be the wake-up call.